Hi everyone, welcome to our Crypto.com AMA. I'm Imana Bhadia, and today I'll be speaking with the co-founder and CEO of Injective Protocol, Eric Chen. Injective Protocol is a free and decentralized financial network for everyone. Their mission is to create a more free and inclusive financial system through decentralization by providing the unrestricted and unprecedented ability to express diverse views in the decentralized financial markets. They're striving to empower individuals with the ability to be more efficiently able to allocate their capital in our society. Today, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Eric Chen, the co-founder and CEO of Injective. Hi, Eric.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hi, thanks for joining us today. Eric, could you start off by giving us a little bit of an introduction of yourself?
Hey guys, this is Eric, co-founder and CEO of Injective Labs. So we're building Injective Protocol, which is a fully decentralized derivatives exchange protocol that scales on top of Ethereum and allows anyone to create and trade any type of spot market and derivative market.
Very cool. So I'm going to start off with some questions about the tokenomics of Injective. What is the benefit of holding INJ tokens when using a decentralized exchange? And what are the benefits of holding the Injective token long term?
Yeah, so the utility for Injective are not limited to protocol governance, exchange fee value capture, DeFi collateralization, liquidity mining, and staking. So on the governance part, the INJ token can be used to govern any component of Injective's chain, including the DeFi protocol, exchange parameters, and protocol upgrades via DAO structure. So right now, on the governance forum, you can already see a lot of various aspects that are being in play. So for example, I think on our Canary chain, the most active proposals are spot market listings. And so another component is the exchange fee value capture. After the relay reward distribution, the exchange fee will undergo a on-chain auction, so that allows it for the buyback and burn event to accrue value for INJ. Another really interesting aspect that's going to be utilized is an alternative to stablecoin as collateral for Injective's DeFi markets. In some DeFi markets, INJ can be used for collateral backing and insurance pool staking, where the stakers can earn interest on their locked tokens. Mm-hmm. And overall, there's also exchange participation incentives, which incorporates a liquidity mining scheme to distribute a fixed number of INJ tokens daily, weighted by the liquidity each network participant provides.
Cool, very cool. So security is a major element in any crypto project. Could you share how your platform security system works against hacking from outside and inside?
Yeah, so the overarching goal for Injective is to launch safely and launch securely. So we have undergone a lot of audits with various reputable cosmos auditors in the space. And on top of that, we've been having a very slow launch to make sure that on day one, our protocol is absolutely secure as almost a layer one project, because we've noticed too many DeFi hacks. And since we're launching a layer one with a lot of moving parts, we have to do this in the safest and most secure way.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. The Injective chain is the core backbone for Injective's layer 2 derivatives platform. What features of it collect the essence of the project and make it different to any other DeFi derivatives platform?
Yeah, so Injective chain is kind of like a layer 2 chain, and the Cosmos zone connected to Ethereum. The most interesting part about Injective chain is that it has this independent consensus, but it also has a decentralized bridge that's connected to Ethereum. And so right now, it's one of the very, very few bridges that are fully decentralized and backed by the consensus of the chain rather than a POA network compared to any layer ones. And on top of that, overall Injective has a very fast finality and also a very fast block production. So this means that it'll create a very seamless and smooth trading experience, especially for order book exchanges.
I see. Interesting. Why did you choose Tendermint consensus? What's Tendermint consensus's advantages for Injective's protocol?
Yeah, so when we were picking consensus mechanisms, we optimized for instant finality, low block time, and non-UTXO. So amongst all consensus families, we find that Tendermint PBFT fits our needs the best.
Okay, and essentially that's what the Tendermint consensus gave you. So Injective Protocol chose 2 blockchains to solve the scaling problem. In terms of decentralization, how much is this an advantage?
Yeah. So basically, the way Injective chain works is that it has its own core consensus, but also it's tied to Ethereum for a lot of the final settlement layer. So for example, for ERC20 as collateral, you can deposit USDT into Injective chain, make all the necessary trades, and you can withdraw it. So I would say that we are using two blockchain in a sense, scaling from Ethereum. But Injective is still its own chain. But yeah, like, this is a major advantage for us overall, because basically it doesn't, unlike optimistic rollup, it doesn't restrict this state update and TPS to Ethereum, but rather to the consensus of Injective.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So, what are your future plans for Injective?
So our goal at Injective is to unlock kind of like the full potential of borderless decentralized finance. On the technical side, obviously we're working on building a fully decentralized, trustless, censorship-resistant, open source protocol that users can access from around the world. And on the business side, we have several, we're working with a lot of institutions to make sure that there's a global adoption for beyond just like general user side. And create this a significant liquidity that no one else can surpass. And we're also working with top projects in the industry such as Binance, Terra, Polygon, UMA, and Clayton to make sure we build up this entire ecosystem. And over time, especially as Injective becomes canonical, we plan to integrate with more layer one chains in order to expand the scope of cross-chain traders on our platform.
Mm-hmm. And how about more specifically your roadmap for Injective in 2020? What does that look like?
Yeah, so right now we're in the canary chain phase. It's going to be canonical in around end of the month or middle of the next month, give or take, depending on the progress of the security of the canary chain. And so that means that at the time of the canonical chain, that all features are going to be unlocked, and it's going to run like a proper mainnet. And so that's, I would say that is definitely the most exciting aspect of it. Basically, all of our features are unlocked. There's a lot of utility and a lot of incentive mechanism that we put in place that we're going to look to expand upon canonical release. And on top of that, there's a lot of really interesting projects that we're working on, kind of like in ancillary to the protocol itself. So for example, like a token launch platform, like a stablecoin platform, and a lot of really interesting kind of like ecosystem projects are also going to be building on top of us. But yeah, like a lot to look ahead to.
Nice, very exciting. And so Injective Protocol has just integrated with Polkadot. What are the highlights and the main advantages of this integration?
Yeah, so we've worked on the Polkadot integration for a while. So basically we were connecting with the Moonbeam EVM to make sure that there's composability of the assets from Ethereum to Injective and from Injective to Polkadot. So basically that's honestly the exciting part here. So that kind of expands, our offering of cross-chain trading to beyond just one cross-chain ecosystem, but to another even potentially bigger cross-chain system.
Nice, very cool. Is Injective EVM compatible? Will we see it on Chrome mainnet in the future?
Yeah. So one cool thing about Injective is that it has full EVM support. So it's natural for us to integrate any type of ERC20 based and EVM compatible chain, and also any type of tokens that are ERC compatible later on.
Ah, interesting. Can you expand on the governance model a little? What kind of things can be voted for, decided on, and briefly, how will it function?
Yeah, so basically, honestly, everything. So first of all, there's the underlying consensus. So basically, any type of changes that requires like a 2/3 vote, for example, like a hard fork and everything like that, that in and of itself is almost like a governance. And there's also the Gulf module within Injective that can change any parameter within the chain itself. So right now, like we see a lot of community activity around the token listing, what to decide, upon the unlock of the exchange feature. So yeah, a lot to look forward to for the governance layer, and practically you can change anything. Right now we're working on exposing a lot of these governance decisions in a more kind of like non-technical way to the users. So, they don't have to interact with the CLI to make these proposals. But, one thing we did so far is like creating, this interface for governance to make token listing decisions very, very seamless.
Nice. That's awesome news for the community. So do you agree that the power of the community will drive your project to global growth? What are your strategies for building a large and strong community?
Yes, I do. I do believe, community will drive the project to global growth. But I think at the same time, growth is now, it's pretty much the same as community. So in terms of like building like a large and strong community, I think number one is that, you have to filter out the voice. You have to make sure that, you understand which community members are truly believing in a project and which community members are, just basically a little bit more short-term minded. And I think, targeting those people and making sure we cater to their needs and cater to what they're looking for and cater to, how we can improve is the key to building a strong and large community.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think one of the biggest learnings of being in the whole crypto space has been just how much of an asset the community team is. And I think the biggest part of that is just how early we are and how little everybody understands about the space. And these are kind of the guys that are running all of that. So how will the verification delay or the VDF function and impact the security DEX platforms? And what feature does it have that other security systems don't?
Yeah, so we actually had a new matching model. So that actually no longer requires VDF because it's a batch auction model. So for running isn't really an issue, but we still utilize VDF basically for our next iteration for transaction ordering in a generalized sense. So basically, the way that batch auction works is that, it's matched on a pro rata basis, and all the makes are basically kind of like all match at the same time. And so like whether this is a take or a make isn't decided until the end of the round. So this actually removes the issue of front running because this allows for basically this kind of prevents sandwich attacks. This kind of prevents transaction ordering or transaction auctioning because like everyone's matching. There's no constant time within that auction period.
Okay, I see. So what mechanisms or strategies will you use to maintain user motivation and presence on the DeFi Injective Protocol platform?
Yeah, so I think one of the most interesting things that we've done is to design this kind of like incentive mechanism so that basically users are kind of incentivized and rewarded for bringing in other users and referring other users. And this is kind of like a very interesting on-chain mechanism that a lot of DeFi projects aren't really incorporating or can't really incorporate. So basically you have this kind of like on-chain referral system that allows the distribution of fees to beyond just the protocol itself, but rather, to the greater community members and, creating or specify to a certain address that people can distribute a fee to.
Huh, very cool. I didn't know that. It's interesting. Have you provided the possibility of transferring ERC20 tokens from Ethereum to the Injected chain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Cool.
Yeah, that's actually exactly how Injective launched their mainnet, which is basically deploying the bridge contract on Ethereum, and so people can deposit INJ into it and create this kind of genesis ceremony, and then from that point on, the chain kind of just breathes into existence because that's kind of how the chain is responding to the amount of INJ being deposited, and they kind of adjust the number of INJs in circulation on Injective chain as a result.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
so there's no token swap, so that's a cool part.
Cool. Thanks for elaborating. All right, Eric. Well, that was our final question. This was a great and wonderfully swift conversation. So thanks so much for joining us today. Are there any last words that you have or any announcements that you'd like to share with the community today?
Yeah, Canary Chain is live. If you're a early community member for Injective, or you just joined the Injective community, definitely deposit into Injective chain and start voting on our proposals and what it's going to look like. What you guys do right now shapes how Injective is going to look when it hits canonical. And yeah, like another thing that we're going to be testing out pretty soon is spot trading. Right now, we're waiting on the validators to basically vote yes on the proposal for unlocking spot exchange. So yeah, that's going to be very, very exciting.
Nice, very cool. And Eric, where can our followers find you online on Twitter?
Yeah, my Twitter is at Eric Injective. And basically the Injective Labs Twitter handle, or the Injective Twitter handle is at Injective Labs.
Nice, perfect. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us, and a huge shout out to our community for participating in the event today. If your questions were asked during the AMA today, then you may have won a share of the INJ prize pool. If so, your prize will be deposited into your account within the next 30 days. Again, you can follow Eric on Twitter and follow Crypto.com and stay informed about upcoming events and updates. Keep an eye out on our Crypto.com Twitter, official Telegram channels, and our YouTube channel, where this AMA will remain viewable after today. Thanks again, Eric, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.